Hello everyone, my name is Saokosal. This is part 2 of how to connect Android with PHP and MySQL using Volley. This is where you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter and GitHub. In the first video, I talk about how to set up the Volley library, how to make a singleton class and how to do simple requests. In this video, I will talk about how to send and read data from and to PHP and MySQL. I will cover post and get. I will talk about how to put parameters into the request. And also I will talk about how to do the HTTP header request. And lastly, I will talk about how to handle the errors. Okay, this is the previous video. We could send two requests. This one is the string request one. We call to the google.com.kh, kh for Cambodia, Khmer. And the second one is request to the local one. So make sure you are running the XAMPP, and if you are running WAM, it's okay. And this one, the first one to Google, request one, and second one to local. And here you see, even though the second one to local, still it run first because the local should be faster than the global one. Then it read and retrieve the data and then send back to the Android. This is how it works. So it's really a multiple thread. And don't forget to put the internet here, and also for the volley you have to put this into the gradle. Okay, so now we will continue our lesson. So now I want to talk about the post and get. So here, like I said in the first video, if you don't mention it, the first parameter, by default it's a get. Okay, so now let's try to create a PHP page and test it. So let's go to the htdocs, and I have this one, and let's try to create a file, and I just call test PHP. So you say request method equal get, so you want to test it is a get or post. Okay, and then you just equal something. So this is for example. I say this is get, and here else it is post. So for Android, you have to specify the path here, because I create the file is test. Okay, and then I create a string number 3 now, and the URL 3, and put the request here. You don't have to delete this one because this is a separate call, and just comment this one. Okay, it's good to go now. Okay, as you can see now, the return string is it is get. So it means that if you don't specify anything here, the default one is a get. So now you want to say, okay, I want to call to the post. So what you have to do is you put the request.method.post. Okay, this is post one. And if you still want to use get, just say get, but get is a default. So now want to test again. Okay, now you can see it is post. So now you know how to send the data by get or post. So if you are not sure what is post or get is about, you can go to Google and find post versus get, and this one explain it well from the WC schools here. So get request data from a specific resource, and post submit data. So the big difference is here you want to submit data, and get here request can be cached. Okay, and post never cache. and get can remain in the history, can be bookmarked, should never be used when dealing with sensitive data. Okay, and this one can be okay to send the data as a sensitive one, but still you want to use the HTTPS. There is no guarantee that host can send the data and encrypt it. You have to use HTTPS, the SSL socket. Okay, but for Android, because you don't have any browser here, you just call it in Android app. In website, you have this, okay, and it's about the bookmarking in some other like history thing. But here in Android, these two are not so different, okay. But if you think that okay, maybe you want to put some data and then maybe you want to call it from a query string like this, or maybe you say like okay, lang, I want to say lang is English, for example, and maybe time is UTF or UTC plus 7 for Cambodia, okay. So you want to call like this, then you think okay, now it's not post, it's a get, okay. But if you want to send data by parameter without this, you have to think it is a post. So for me, I prefer to use post, okay? Even though it is the same thing, but post for me is always a better deal. Okay, now we move on to parameter. So let's say now you want to use post here, and you say, okay, if now let's say post and you want to send the parameter, and this is a key. What you want to say here, maybe some username, and then maybe that if username equals something, maybe just the sol. But I always test like if the key is exists or not. So in PHP you have the if set, and you say post like this, and username. So make sure that the username key is exists. Then you can compare like this. And then maybe you want to test the password as well. Like this. So password just 1, 2, 3. And then here you say correct. Okay. Else incorrect. Okay. Now you want to send the data here. To send the data, you have to call by getParams, but you have to override this string request. But in Java, now you have a better way to do the overriding. What you have to do is open the curly brace and close brace after the constructor like this, and then here, and you say get param. Okay, as you can see now, this is a get param here, and just double click it. Now you have a nice get param method, and here is the hash map. So you want to declare a map like that, and I say params and new hash map and param put. Now what is the key? The key here is the same to this one, so it's a username, and the second one is the value. What is the value now? Value is Saokosal, right? And we want to put the second key and value is password and 1, 2, 3. And now you want to return param. Okay, that's all. Now you can send the data to the PHP web server, and then the data will read it in PHP and test it. If it is correct, then equal correct. If it is not correct, then equal incorrect. Okay, now you can see it is correct. Okay, so you can do something with the result now because it is correct already. And let's say here, uh, let's say you have this, and maybe I want to make something more interesting. I want to have like a text box and a password text box and a button here. Let's rename it. So ET username. Okay. ET password. This one is login. ECN login. And if you give the correct username and password, then you click the login and it should go to another page. So you should have another activity here as well. New, and you go to activity here and just use the maybe just use the navigation drawer, whatever you want, but let's stick with the basic one. Okay, just call sub like this. Okay, and choose the hierarchy, the main one. Finished. And in the sub I should have some text. Just say main welcome. Okay, so here in the main, so I have to get the data from the edit text. So first I have to clear the edit text, the password, and around here you can call the username password, just like before. Find view by ID. Okay, and now you want to call the event click button on the VPN login. So here, VPN login, set on click listener, new control space. Okay, so you want to cut the whole code here and pass it in here. Okay, so now the problem is the disk. So just call get application context here. Should be nice now. And you want to change the Saokosal number 123 here, the ET. So it's called ET username dot get text and dot toString ET password get text toString. And here you say if the response is correct, because now you know the echo is correct here. So you want to test the response here. So if response equal correct, okay. But I don't want to use equal here because sometimes the you misspell, like you give a space after that, or maybe there is some space. Like now you have 2, 3 space like that. So usually I just say contain. So because the word correct should have some, multiple words in the page. So I usually like, okay, maybe correct login. Okay, this one is more precise. Okay, so correct login here, like this, and here. Then you can go to the second activity. So call intent, new intent from main activity dot this, and you want to go to sub activity.class activity, and it's an error. It's called incorrect. Okay. Okay, now let's try to solve again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now you can go to the sub page because the password and username is correct. Let's say you log in with the wrong one. Okay, there is some problem now. Okay, I got some problem with the PHP, so I should change the code to this one. I should test the is set first. If the username and password is exist, it's not like is set, then I can test like username equal to all and password equal 1, 2, 3. Okay, it should be like this. And in the real world, actually you have to test again the database. But this one just for example. I don't want to go deep to the PHP because we are talking about Android, and you should have the knowledge about this. And if you don't know this, maybe you should watch another video of mine about how to do the login like this. Okay, so now test it again. If I test it like this, incorrect username and password, and 1, 2, 3. So now it goes to the sub page. Okay, so now we move on to the header. So what is header? Okay, if you don't know headers, you just type HTTP headers example, and there is a good blog here from Tools Plus. Okay, so he explained like in a picture. Okay, so for example, like when you do the HTTP request, you send the HTTP header, okay, along the way, and when you get the response, then you can get the status line, okay, and headers and content. So usually you see the content, you don't realize that you have the header. Okay, so header is something like this. You will see the get, and you will see the URL, okay, the host name and user agent, accept language, encode, a lot of things, even a cookie, okay, cache. And your web server wants to know that if your client request is from where, maybe from iPhone or from web browser, but which web browser? As you can see now is a Mozilla because maybe he's using Firefox. Okay, this is a content, and you usually see the content, you don't see the header. And I recommend you read this, but I will not go down much. I will explain a little bit about this. So what most people are interested with the HTTP headers is about user agent. It's a way that tests against the client's call. For example, like which client call, which browser, or which platform. But in this part, let's say you test it in PHP. You say server HTTP user agent, and the str, it means like try to find this MSIE6 inside the user agent here, because user agent has a long list like this. Then you want to find a string, so it's the PHP function to find a string, and you call a server and user agent. Remember, if you don't know this, because you usually see the call like this, HTTP, you see this, the user dash agent, okay, and then you want to call it in the PHP, you call HTTP with the capital 1 underscore user agent. It's always like that. If you want to test again the accept language, you say HTTP underscore accept language in the full capital. Now you want to test it is a French one or it is English one, and then you can rewrite to the like this. Okay. And some other example about this is about the content type and the charset. And most people get a problem with this because they don't put the charset as a UTF-8, so they cannot get the data from the API. Okay, so now let's test it, and now I'm interested just to user agent only. So where is user agent? Here. Okay, so in Android you can just do it like that in the overriding class here, and you say get header. See, you see get the header already, and it's the same thing because it's a map. So map string, and now I say header new hash map like this. I don't need this. And header, just put something. So now you want to put user agent. Okay, so user dash agent. And what is your agent now? So you can just tell the PHP that my agent is Android. So I would say my Android. Okay, it's just example here, and then you return the header. Okay, in your PHP, this is for testing the get and post here now. So maybe I'm not interested much to this. Okay, just comment it. So just say server and HTTP underscore user agent like this. And now my user agent is my Android. Okay, and then I would say return code for Android, and else like for general platform. Okay. Okay, so now we don't want to test it against the correct login or whatever, so we need to comment this and just log the tag and respond is enough because we want to see it is the Android or general one. So now we put the code in the login, just click login and see now return code for Android. So it's a good way because you don't want to have a separate page, let's say for Android and for usual web. Let's say here you go to localhost and customer test PHP. See, now because you are using the general one, then the code should be for the general purpose. But then if it is for Android, as you can see, now it's the Android code. Okay, maybe the JSON is different, maybe the image is different, and the size for the image for Android should be smaller. Okay, so this is the way that you want to test against the header, and then you can put some other thing you want. Okay, let's see the example here. Now you want to know which language. Okay, so this one, so you say accept language like this. Okay, here you say English. This is your your data here, so just say English like this and go back to here and quite similar. HTTP accept language should be the same, like this, and English this page, else maybe my page, okay, for my. So you can test it in here as well. Okay, you can see now it's a Khmer page because you are specified the usual one. Okay, but let's see here in the Android. Now it is an English page. Okay, so you can do whatever you want with the header, and it's a good way to specify that. And lastly, I want to talk about the error handler. Here, the error is like a generic one. And if you want to say, okay, now it's a timeout error, or maybe the authentication error. So how to do that? So here, it's just a general one. So you say, if error instance of, and you say timeout error. See, now how do I know that? Because there are many errors in Volley. It's not the general one, it's from Volley. Okay, to get the error, the name of the class, what you have to do is just say com.android.volley, and you type error like this, you see, like of failure error, Volley error, network error, no connection error. So you can do the instance of this class. So it's a better way to find out what is the error class, because okay, this is the new thing and you might not find it on the internet. So this is the right way to do that. So now I want to test it. It is the no connection and timeout. So timeout error. And then you have different tools in here. Timeout error, and else if error instance of no connection error, no connection error. The same to others. Network error, and the last one is pass error. So you are free to do like this. It's not wrong because you just call it from the package name. So the pass error usually happen when we call a JSON object. Okay, so you can just specify like JSON pass error like that. Okay, so let's try it again. So now you get the data. So if you want to test the error, you just go here to the server and maybe you just stop it like this. Okay, and run it again. Click, see, now no connection error. And if something is like authentication, maybe you want to test with FTP, for example, then you're gonna have the password, the username, then you can have the authentication failure, and the server might be down, then JSON is wrong. Okay, and the timeout, when you connect it very long, longer than 5 seconds, then you will have a timeout error. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching, and I will meet you in part 3. Thank you.